girls, yesterday we learned how to do some mental math, but we wrote down our steps because we're learning a strategy, okay? I don't love it when they partially fill it in for us, but I think you're going to remember how to do it very soon, okay? So the first one says 1925s, correct?
Yes.
Because that's how I say 19 times 25 in unit form. Blair, focus, okay? So what do I need to write? 19, okay? Now, the way they showed the drawing is not how we did it yesterday. We're going to think of what number to help us do 19 times 25
20.
mentally. 20. Which one's larger, 20 or 19?
20.
So that needs to go on top. 20, 25s. And the actual amount we need to figure out is what? 19 25s. That needs to be spelled correctly because it's right there in front of you. You can just copy it down. Okay, now they filled in some of the thinking for us, didn't they? That's nice. What are we supposed to think?
20, 25, minus 1, 25.
And did they already write it for us?
Yes.
Okay, so now we just have to change it to standard form. Make the, turn the words into numbers. So the first blank is what?
20.
And the second blank is?
1.
Now I noticed they crossed one off. That's because 19 is less than 20. We're using 20 to do it in our head, so we have to subtract. What's 20 times 25? Well, you do 2 times 25. What is it, Daniel? 2 times 50. Add a 0. 1 times 25. So the answer to 500 minus 25,
85.
you accidentally added. We got to get some quarters out and start counting money, I think.
No.
Because this is simple math with quarters. And I'm finding out that this is messing us up because we don't know how to count by 25s. We've got to get that figured out. Do you ever, when you count money, do you stack 4 quarters to make a dollar out of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we need to practice that, but then count it when we're done. So it'll be $1, $2, $3, and then 3 quarters would be $3.75. Okay, let's do the next one. So I've got 24 times 11. How would I say that in unit form? Blank 24s. 11 24s. So before I draw anything, what am I going to think instead of 11? 10. 10 plus what equals 11?
1.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to think, and now I'm going to draw. When I draw it, which number goes on top? 11 or 10?
11.
Okay, get that put on top first. 11 24s. Now I figured something out, boys and girls. The number that is in words is actually my unit. So what number goes in the boxes?
24.
24. Okay, Channing, help me. What number goes on bottom of this tape diagram?
10.
10. 10 24s. So now it's pretty simple to fill it all in, isn't it? just copy it down, 10 times 24 and 1 times 24. And then do the math. Did you already do the math?
Yeah.
10 times 24?
24.
24 and add a 0, right? What number is that?
24.
Plus,
24 equals 264. 264.
okay. So one of them on your exit ticket is pretty much like that, I think. Let's take a look at the next one. We are not going to do all of these, but I want to do this one for sure. So C, okay? So before I start, I'm going to change it to unit form. I got 79 times 14, so what will that be up here? 79 14s, and somebody already told me what we're going to think of instead of 79 to solve it mentally. 80. Okay, get that written down. And they saved us some time, didn't they? Yes, they did. We don't have a lot of writing to do, which is nice. So as I start my drawing, I'm going to think about a couple things. Number one, 14 is my unit because that's the number that's written in words, okay? Which number is larger, 79 or 80?
80.
So which number goes on top?
80.
80 14s. And Tucker, tell me what number to write on the bottom of my tape diagram.
79.
Good. 79 14s. Now, I don't love the fact that they told us we're subtracting, because I would like for you to have to figure that out yourself, but they told us, so that means I'm going to subtract 114. So make sure you cross it off. Okay, do the math. What's a way to figure out 8 times 14?
8 times 4.
8 times 4 and 8 times 1. Okay. If that's too confusing, what's another way to do it?
0 times 4 and 8 times 1.
Standard algorithm, maybe, right? 8 times 4 is what?
32.
32. Add a 0, right? Here's how I would probably suggest doing it. 14 times 8. Because isn't that 8 times 4 and 8 times 1? 8 times 1 plus 3.
11.
And add the 0.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what's 1 times 14?
14.
So I have to subtract, and the only numbers I'm going to look at are 20 and 14. Do you see how I'm kind of chunking these?
Yes.
I can ignore the other two for right now. So what's 20 minus 14? 6. So 1,106. How do I write that?
1106.
Good. Now, I'm going to pause it for a minute because I want to show you a trick. Yes? That's okay. So let's go ahead and do A. And it looks to me like they left off part of unit form. So Halen, help me out here. 19 times 15s, written in unit form, would be 19 what? 15s. Sit up, pay attention. You're going to have an exit ticket here in a minute. Up, kid. Thank you. All right, so what number is my unit that goes in the box? 15.
15.
So instead of 19, what will I think of?
20.
20. So, and they already put it on there for us, didn't they? Okay, so which one's larger, 19 or 20?
20.
That goes on top. 20 15s. And your unit is 15. How many more is 20 than 19?
1.
1. So I need to show 15 at the end in order to show 19 15s at the bottom.
This is Liz.
Yes?
How do you know how much boxes to write in there?
I always do 3 and 1 unless 19 and 20 are more than 1 apart. And there's going to be one over here like that. So that will help you. Okay? All right. So now, I mean, seriously, I just get to keep writing the word 15, don't I? Oh, but I don't need an S on this one. Now, finally, we get to do some math. Oh, I don't need to write the word. Yeah. I don't know what I'm thinking. Sorry.
Oh.
You'll live.
I had it already.
This is standard form. The second line is standard form. Okay, so now I have 2 times 15. What is it? 30. Add a 0. Minus 15. So 300 minus 15.
285.
You're very good at mental math. Okay. So this last one is exactly like one on your exit ticket, but it's not. So what are we going to put beside it? A star. And I really need you to focus, okay? Because I bet I had to send all but 4 people back to their seat to redo the second one on the exit ticket. Okay, so here's what it is. 14 15s, correct? This is so confusing because what's my unit? What number am I going to change to a multiple of 10?
15.
They told us down here.
Oh, 14.
I'm going to change the 14. What am I changing it to? A 10. How many away from 14 is 10? 4. So we'll come back to that in a minute. Go ahead and fill in 15s here. And let's start the tape diagram. So 14 is the number I'm changing. I want to get my units on there so I can think about this for a minute. So just put 15 on there. Put 115 at the end for now. Don't draw your arrow yet. Okay? Didn't somebody say, how do I know how many to draw on there?
That was me.
It was Sadie. Well, we're going to use what we think about, Sadie. Read to me what we think about right now. What do we think?
10 15s plus 4 15s.
So how many 15s do you think I need at the end?
4.
4. Remember, all the others were 1? So that's why I put 1 there. This time I need how many?
4.
4. Now you can draw your arrow, and we'll decide where to put what number. So my original problem is 14 15s, but we broke that apart into 10 and 4. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
And we did it because multiplying with a 10 is so much easier. Okay? So let's take a look at what that looks like with the brackets. Which number is larger, 14 or 10? 14. So that goes on the top. Sit up, pay attention. You have an exit ticket today. Okay, what number am I using instead of 14?
10.
So I stop it right there.
What?
Because, watch,
What?
10 plus 4 is 14. And in my book, they just drew an arrow down so you don't have to write it. Because there's not much room, is there? So 10 14s, or 15s plus 4 15s. We're going to do it that way to figure it out. Remember on decomposing, we broke apart and found a 10?
Yeah.
That's all this is. So here we have 10 times 15 plus 4 times 15. All right, do that math.
Okay.
Okay, so what's 10 times 15?
150.
What's 4 times 15?
60.
Oh, how'd you figure that out? 30 plus 30?
2
Oh, okay.
2
2 times 15 is 30. Okay. And then you had 4 of those. Okay. So what's the answer?
210.
Okay, now here's what I'm going to tell you. On your exit ticket, you're going to have 2 boxes. Okay? I'm giving you 20 points possible. Because I'm counting, watch what I'm counting. I'm counting the top bracket and the bottom bracket. Which bracket over here do you think they messed up and I had to send it back to their seats on?
The
The bottom. Because it's different, isn't it? So let's take a look at the exit ticket. And I'm even going to help you with one thing here. So this is 13 25s. If I break 13 apart into a multiple of 10 and another number, what is it? 10 plus 3. Okay. Before we do anything else, I want to look at that problem that we have.